Okay, so your or your compound machine should have three simple machines in it. The very first one you're spinning is going to be your axle and wheel, or wheel and axle, whatever you want to call it. So we'll call it axle and wheel. And technically, what it consists of is like a little handle that you spin, and it's got an axle right here, and that thing spins around and around, and it actually spins like this. So I want you to first thing to note is that I measure this thing to be about 2 inches right here from the center of rotation to here. But remember, when the handle rotates this way, it's way down here. So the full diameter, because we're supposed to measure diameter, the diameter would be another 2 inches, so a total of 4. Okay, I want you to note that for first. This axle right here is 0.125 inches. All right. So if we're just looking at this one simple machine by itself, it has an input and an output, and the IMA of this type of machine is the diameter of the input divided by the diameter of the output. And so if we look at the input, it's 4 inches, and the output is 0.125 inches, and that gives us a 32 to 1 ratio. So in other words, you're 32 times stronger in a way. So if you had a friend and they tried to hold this stick from spinning and you spun this, they would not be able to stop you unless they're 32 times stronger than you are. But there's probably no way that's true. And you're going to spin this and they will not be able to hold that still with their hand over here. They can't hold that with their hand because you're too powerful, 32 times more powerful to be a matter of fact. So the next part, what is this spinning over here? So when you're spinning this, what is it spinning? It's spinning the next set of your simple machine, which is a gear train, right? And your gear train has some power to it as well. So in my particular one, the first thing it's spinning is a 12-tooth gear, and it's spinning a larger 60. Actually, you know what? I'll be honest. It's not. That's not the way it's doing it. It's a 12-tooth, and it's spinning a 36 tooth, and then that's spinning a 60 tooth. Okay. Now this one is an idle gear, so we don't count it. We only count the in and the out. So this is the out, and this is the in, and we don't count that idle gear. It doesn't do anything. You could actually have 4 gears in the middle. We only count the very first one and the very last one when it's just a simple gear train like this. There are other types of gear trains called compound gears, which we don't go over. We actually do it in class normally, but on virtual land here, we're not going to do that. It's just a little harder to explain and to show people while I'm on a video. So if you're just kind of meshing them up end to end, we only look at the beginning and the end. So the IMA, or technically we call this the gear ratio, right? But that's pretty much the same as an IMA. And it's equal to the number of teeth out divided by the number of teeth in. So we have 60 teeth divided by 12 teeth. So that gives us a gear ratio, or an IMA of 5. The next one is and the very last one. So when this is winding up, so you're spinning this, and what is it spinning? It's spinning this gear train, this input right here, and it ends up coming out here. And this winds up a rope, and it pulls it up a ramp or an inclined plane. So that's our last one. Inclined plane. And on my inclined plane, there's a ramp like this, and presumably there's some weight that's getting pulled upward, right? And it has a distance on mine of 12 inches. And then how high was it? I measured this right here, this right here, the height, and I measured 4 inches. And that's our height. And this is our length. And the IMA on this, on an inclined plane, is actually pretty easy. It's just the length divided by the height. So I measured 12 inches and 4 inches on the height. That's a H, by the way, not an N. And I got an IMA of 3. So what is your total IMA? To calculate your total IMA, IMA total is equal to the IMA of your first machine times the IMA of your second machine times the IMA of your third machine. So pretty much the main total, I'll put total here, IMA is simply going to be 32 times 5 times the last one, 3. And that's equal to, if I bring out a calculator and I just type in calculator here, I'm getting 32 times 5 times 3. And I'm getting 480, which is really huge. 480 mechanical advantage for my machine. And that's it. That's how you find the total IMA of your machine. Make sure you also show all your work and your numbers, what your tooth gears are, show a little picture of them, what your handle and everything. Your handle should be very similar. Your gear setup should be a little bit different. And by the way, it is definitely possible that your gear ratio here is less than 1. Because if your input would have been the big one and your output is a small one, you would have actually been backwards and it would be smaller, which is okay because notice my IMA is so huge, it'll be okay. So it's not like, you're losing a little bit of mechanical advantage right there, but in the end, that's not going to hurt anything. So it is definitely possible. But here you're definitely going to get larger than 1, and here you're going to get larger than 1. And if you don't get larger than 1 right here, that's totally okay. In the end, when you multiply across all of them, you're definitely going to be bigger than 1 here for sure. Okay? So I hope that clarifies anything. Make sure you message me if you need any more clarity.